Greetings, Onion Slice, and today I'm going to be sharing with you the top 10 Resident Evil tips to use in the new remakes in the Remake trilogy. I'm not counting Resident Evil 1 Remake because that was a long time ago, so I'm only going to be talking about Resident Evil 2 and 3 Remake. The first big tip I can give you is in Resident Evil 2. So, many people don't know about this, but you can actually sneak in Resident Evil 2 Remake. Yes, that's right. It doesn't only work against lickers. You can just walk without sprinting, and zombies, unless you actually go near them, they will not be aware of you. If you get within their range or they hear you do anything, they will start tracking you. But mind you, this is a range-based thing, so you can still make some noise, but if you're outside of their range, they will not hear you. One of the most obvious tips I can give you in Resident Evil 2 Remake, which is something that you should know, is critical hits. So you are more likely to land a critical hit on a zombie if you wait for your crossers to be tied together like this. Focused. This is called focused shot. So a critical hit is an increased damage or an increased chance at one-shotting a zombie. But mind you, it's not always going to one-shot them. It just deals more damage. But a critical hit on the head causes the head to explode on an enemy zombie. As you can see here, I'm using Claire's Quick Draw Army Revolver for the B scenario. Another very basic tip I can give you is avoiding zombies. I know that's very obvious and I know everyone knows this by now, but in Resident Evil 2 Remake, it is very important to save up resources in any Resident Evil game. But in this particular one, we can fire our weapon at their lower leg, right before their feet, and usually takes about 1 or 2 hand ammo to stun them, and then you can just run past them. But mind you, this will not take out the zombie forever. Sometimes you even disable them, meaning they will be crawling against you, so take that into account. You have to get really good at dodging. But of course, using the Quick Draw Army here, another tip I can give you is that this weapon actually fires perforating ammo, which means it will go through enemies. So with Claire's Quick Draw Army Revolver, we can actually wait for an enemy to line up like that and fire our weapon, and voila, as you saw there, I use the perforating ammo to run past enemies by stunning them with 1 bullet or 2. So once again, this is only available for Claire. Leon doesn't have such a weapon. There are very cool differences between the two characters, but I thought I'd share this little neat detail that not many people notice while going through their playthroughs. Another very basic thing I can teach you in Resident Evil 2 Remake is dodging Mr. X. So to dodge Mr. X, all we have to do is hold forward, get right in front of him, then immediately hold back, then start sprinting by holding forward. So once again, hold forward, then back, then forward again right after he punches. The idea is to lure him to swing his fist at you, then holding back without sprinting, and then running past him by sprinting. You can do this pretty much in any location. In Resident Evil 3 Remake, there is a dodge feature, but it's kind of tricky to perfect. So, if you dodge at the correct time, you will be able to perform a perfect dodge. The time will slow and you will be able to fire in real time. But there is a trick to this. You actually cannot perfect dodge if you are currently reloading your weapon. So, all those times you got caught in Resident Evil 3 Remake trying to dodge, you were probably most likely reloading your weapon as you were spamming the dodge button. So once again, you cannot dodge if you are reloading your weapon. In the same game, there is a very annoying character called Tentacle Head. To get rid of the Tentacle Head, you can actually do this very quickly and efficiently. All you have to do is take out the body first, the zombie body, and then, once it's laying on the ground, fire your weapon at the orange tentacle bulb on its head. This is the most effective way of getting rid of these annoying tentacle enemies. In Resident Evil 4 Mercenaries, you can find a chicken in every level of the mercenaries. You can then collect the chicken egg after killing the chicken, and you will get 50,000 points. You can do this in every map, in every playthrough, so I recommend you do this at the beginning of every round if you're trying to get the RPD costume in the mercenaries by getting S+ with every character on every map. So once again, do this at the beginning of every round, and you can consume the chicken egg if you want. All you have to do is collect it, and you will be given 50,000 automatically. In the Resident Evil 4 Remake DLC Separate Ways, you can trigger the second phase of the Pesanta boss fight at the beginning of the game in Chapter 1 early if you go up to this door in the beginning of the castle. Now, contrary to popular belief, this does not skip the first phase. This only triggers the phantoms, the ghost, to spawn in early. So you're not making your life easier. You're actually making your life harder by approaching this door early, because this doesn't take away the enemy's health. This only spawns in extra enemies to fight. So I don't recommend you do this unless you're for some reason trying to make the game harder. Yeah, this is a big myth that I wanted to debunk, because a lot of people keep telling me to this day that you can skip this fight or part of it, and that's not true. In Resident Evil 2 Remake, the knife is your best weapon. To take out a licker, all you have to do is go behind them or to their side, pretty much away from their claws, and knife away. This is not necessary, to be completely honest with you. I actually made an entire guide on how to complete this entire game without attacking any licker at all. So check out Neon Slice's Hardcore S+ guide for Resident Evil 2 Remake for both Claire and Leon. But in case you were feeling bored and reckless, I recommend trying the Infinite Knife or just any knife against the lickers if you want to get rid of them. Or if you're playing a mod like Biorand or, randomizer or something like that spawns different enemies, you can knife lickers by going behind them. So the idea here is to hit their upper torso and their back legs whilst you're swiping. That way you are swiping at them at least 2 to 3 times. So you're hitting them both on the upper body and the lower body. That's why we're positioning ourselves in that location, so we can land more hits on the enemy. Or in this case, it's licker. Staying away from their claws, and it takes about 5 to 6 swipes depending on your FPS. Now you can do this as well on the console, but it's slightly more difficult on the console as the FPS is lower on the console. So this is not just a glitch or anything like that. This is something that is actually in the game, and you can replicate this on any platform. Another tip for Hardcore S+ in Resident Evil 2 Remake, always using the knife, is you can actually use the Infinite Knife to get S+. You can't use any other infinite weapons though. Anyway, so to get rid of a zombie, all you have to do is knock them down until they're like this, and then do the same exact thing that you would do with a licker. Position yourself to the bottom left or the bottom right of their body so you can use your Infinite Knife and take them out. This is very efficient if you're trying to get rid of enemies in an area without wanting to waste too much time or too many handgun ammo bullets. And that is all 10 essential tips for the new Resident Evil remakes. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments down below if you knew all of these little tricks on all of these games. Of course, there are way more tips that I can share, but those are some of the 10 essential tips that you should know if you're still playing this game or starting the game. I hope you found this video helpful or entertaining, and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.